What's good? What's good? What's good? It's your boy J.Broady back with another episode of Put You on Game. You know, where you come here and I put you on game about the Bible. You know, we dive in, we have this moment together, this experience and time together about the eternal God that exists outside of time. So it's actually dope to be doing this. Been wanting to do this for a while now, you know, to create these experiences with each other, because you know it's hard to stay on social media, and it just snippets to give you small snippets out. Man, I love long form, I love diving in, I love deep conversation. That's just me. So at this time of this recording, the day that this airs will be my birthday. You know, happy birthday to me. I'm the big 3-0, you know, that everyone dreads, or, you know, some people celebrate. But I don't necessarily want to talk about me per se. Not I want to talk about so someone, well, many people, when I tell them my birthday, they be, oh, you're this sign, you're that sign. So what I want to talk about is, you kind of guessed it, horoscopes, astrology, whatever you want to call it. I want to dive into that. And, you know, like, I hear people clinging to those things like it's Bible. Like, let's just say it like that. They cling to it like it's Bible. Like, hey man, this is me. This is my sign. Get with it, get lost. So I want to really just dive into that. Like, what does the Bible say about astrology? What does the Bible say about the stars and things like that? So, do I think astrology and horoscopes are bad? Y'all know me. I'm going to give y'all the short answer. Yes. Yes. Divination is a no-go. Like 100% a no-go. Like, it's not like, let's not dance around it. That's not sugarcoat it. I'm going to give you, cut right to the point. It is not of God. It's not biblical. It's not okay. Should Christians be practicing it is the more thing I want to dive in depth to. Of course it's not, if it's biblical. It's not biblical. But I want people to understand that, you know, God created the stars. That's just, this is found in Genesis 1, you know, verse 14, you know, he created, I'm paraphrasing, and you can go read it yourself. He created, you know, the heavens and the stars for seasons, and you know, until the time of the time of the day, you know, the moon and the moon and the sun, things like that. And people use those to navigate, you know, like, for just navigation, the stars for navigation, like, you know, out here traveling in the seas, constellations, that's the word I'm thinking of. Yeah, things like that. And so people tend to dive in a little bit more to these stars than what they need to. I honestly see people dive more and more into these horoscopes, and like I said before, cling to it like it's Bible. Like, this is who I am. Like, I think it's one, like, I want to talk about, like, it's three things really. One of the things that I think it does when you cling to horoscopes is, one, you're looking to something to affirm something that's negative about you, or it could be a positive, but your affirmation is coming from the wrong source. So people tend to you're looking to a created thing to give you affirmation, like it created you, but it didn't. So that to right there, you should kind of like sense where I'm going with this, like how this is a problem. God wants you to seek affirmation from him and what his word says about you, not a horoscope that was man-made. So I think, and I think, no, I know it robs God of his glory. God said, I created you. You know, you're complex. All these things in the Psalms 119, if I'm not mistaken, you're fearfully and wonderfully made. Like, I nicked you together. You know, like that personality, I gave that to you. Now that sinful nature, he didn't. But those unique things, God gave that to you. And yet we're giving that something God did. We giving the kudos to something else. Like, yeah, I'm very honest. You know, that's something God is, and that's part of his character. How dare I take that and make that something of a Sagittarius or whatever? Make that's all Sagittarius. No. That is something from God. That is a character of God that he gave to me. I made in his image. I don't look like a star. I'm not created. All creation, this is what I want to get across. All creation, we stand apart from all creation. We were the only creation that was mirrored in the image of God. We were made in the Hebrew word of imago Dei, the image of God. Like, you have to understand, to give credit to something else other than to give credit to the proper person is insulting. If I write a song and I use someone else's lyrics, is it or is it not disrespectful to take credit for that song? That song got Grammys, the song got this, but I did not write it. You see how that's wrong? You're stealing the glory of God. You're letting that thing rob God of his glory. That is the insulting thing. Like, you can't think that pointing to your birthday and whatever sign it falls on, give credit to it for you being, let's say, a good quality. Like being honest. Again, you can't think God will be okay. Oh, well, it's a good character trait. No. I created you, but you don't see me, or you don't care to see me. It sounds like Romans chapter 1, where it says they gave up the truth of God for created things instead of the creator. Like, you're robbing God of his glory when you look to these things. And we can take an Old Testament where, like, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, even in the law and Deuteronomy, he's like, yo, like, these things are like not okay. Like, divination was never okay. Looking to something else, to your source, not only for character traits, but the future. Because a lot of these things have like, oh, this week If you're Aries, this is going to be something different. I'm calling that crazy stuff. But that's the thing. You're looking to it for some type of affirmation you should seek from God. If you want some future telling, go to the book of Revelations. You got a lot of future in there. A lot of prophetic words in the Bible. But these things were for a reason. And so many of the kings, I've been reading the Bible chronologically, and I was just reading about, I can't remember his name. It was a king. Right after Hezekiah, his son, I can't remember his son's name. But his son was it Manasseh? It might have been Manasseh. His son, or no, I think it was Manasseh's son, because he basically went into the temple and built altars to all the stars in heaven inside of the temple. Like, if that don't get more disrespectful. And worship them. So, in essence, like, this has never been okay with God. And Deuteronomy, he's telling them, like, yo, that divination stuff, that's not to be associated inside of Israel. Like, that's in I say Deuteronomy chapter let me look at my notes. 18:10 through 14. I'm gonna paraphrase for the sake of time. Like, yo, this is not okay. I'm kicking the Canaanites out for this. So you got to understand that the Canaanites didn't have the Ten Commandments. But it was never okay. This is a principle to stand forever. Like, yo, I'm not okay with all these other, not just divination, it was other crazy stuff they were doing too. Child sacrifice and all that other stuff. But this stuff is not, no. And if Israel, if you practice it, you're going to get the boot too. Like, God has never been okay to looking at other idolatry. That's just, he's never been okay with it. He's never been okay with it. Because it robs the glory of God. It's insulting to God on just so many levels. And I want to go to the thing of the negative traits that it says. I've heard, I don't want to say all women. I'm not going to generalize and say all women. Because there are some women that think, that I personally know, that say this is demonic and they don't rock with it. That they are the way they are, and they be like, it be bad character traits. Because I'm a Pisces. I'm this because I'm a Pisces. I'm that because I'm this. Okay. That's not okay. And men do it too. Men do it too. But to think that these traits are something to applaud when they're toxic, and you give praise to it, it's not okay. Like, you gotta understand that God has called us to worship something greater than the stars. Calls us to act higher than the world's standard as believers, and to just be set apart from other nations. That's why he said, yo, for Israel, don't do what they did. So in the new covenant of Christ, he's saying, don't do what they did. Don't seek mediums. Don't seek people that can read the stars and all this and that. You know, you wanted to take it a step further, you could go to Acts chapter 16, verse 16, where it was a woman that had a demonic spirit of divination. They all together, as astrology, divination, all together. It's all together. And Acts chapter 16, verse 16, and it tells the story. I believe it's Luke. It says we, and when you read the story, and Luke wrote the book of Acts. Like this lady was just over here prophesying, and it was accurate. And Paul, and it said she did it for days. Like she got on these people, like, oh, these people come here to preach you about Jesus. Like it said, she did this for days. It ticked Paul off so much, he turned around and rebuked the spirit. It said he spoke to the spirit. Do you understand that there's a demonic thing behind this stuff? It's not only insulting to God that you take his glory and give it to stars that he created, but it's also demons behind this because you're looking to it for your future. Divination. These things are like fortune telling. No, it's not okay. It says he spoke to the spirit of it, and that thing went literally, quote unquote, went ghost. Like it went away. It says that spirit went out of her within the hour. Like this, and this lady that had this divination spirit was accurate. It was accurate in telling what these people were here for. She never met them, and she was a slave girl, and people were making money off of it. And after Paul rebuked the spirit, I'm gonna keep emphasizing that thing that predicted the future was gone. So you got to understand that God is not saying don't dabble in certain stuff just because he's mean. No, pimp. There's some stuff under here, like underneath the what you're not looking at. It's not to be played with. Idolatry all idolatry is giving worship to anything, person, place, or thing, or a thought that is not God. Like, and it's either going to lead you to idolatry or playing with demons. And usually they're one and the same. So I'm like, you can't play with this stuff. Like, horoscopes has never been my thing. It has been my thing. And, and because I don't want to say never. It had, for a long time, it hasn't. It's just been that long. But you know what was crazy about it? I see more Christians more into horoscopes. But you know who I don't see playing with this stuff? I don't see Muslims playing with this stuff. I don't see like I remember at work, someone at my job, if I brought a Ouija board, I kid you not, brought a Ouija board to work. I'm like, no, we're not playing with that. On me and this Muslim girl no. But everyone else didn't take it seriously. Like, we play with the devil and wonder why our lives in havoc. Like, it's just crazy to me. But it wasn't a Christian that told me to stop looking at horoscopes. It was a family member that was Jehovah's Witness that told me to stop looking into horoscopes. Now, that should be more insulting. Not that a believer didn't tell me, but someone of another faith took it way more seriously than I did to stop playing with it. So I should say all the more, me being a Christian, wanting to tell other Christians, stop playing with this stuff. This stuff has repercussions. Like, I read you, I just told you stuff from Old and New Testament that this is not okay. Ezekiel and Jeremiah and Deuteronomy and all these books, and I'll have the actual Bible verses at the bottom so you can read them yourself. And then Romans, where I said where they traded the truth of God for the creation instead of the creator. That's what we're doing when we like, yo, how people say I should act as a believer. Nah. How this says I am and I don't have to change anything. That's not okay. So this, I wanted to do a contrast. Basically, let me grab. I want to read off the fruits of the Spirit. So it says in Galatians, but the fruits of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. But do your horoscope reads off these things? Like if it reads off that you got a temper just because that's just who you are you walking in the Spirit of Christ? Because this says, now those who belong to Christ have crucified the flesh with its passions. You know what I'm saying? And it says the law is not against such things, the fruits of the Spirit. And it says, now those who belong to Christ have crucified the flesh. Now, if I go up some verses, let's see what Galatians says in chapter 5. It says, now the work of the flesh are obvious: sexual immorality, moral impurity, promiscuous, idolatry, sorcery, hatred, strife, jealousy, outbursts, rage, selfish ambition, dissension, fractions, envy, drunkenness, quarrelsome, and anything similar. I warn you about these things, as I warn you about these things, as I warned you before, that those who practice such things will not inherit the kingdom of God. But basically, in a nutshell, if you live that way, it's not okay. It's not biblical. It's not of God. So while we over here praising our horoscopes for being unable to have healthy relationships, giving that praise, that's not okay. Because you have a bad attitude, you can't stay in a monogamous relationship. You can't, anything. It's not okay. Anything contrary of what I just read off about the fruits of the Spirit, that's not okay. And horoscopes depict basically, I'm this way and I can stay this way, and it's not, and I give credit to the good things, not to God, but to the stars or my sign. So again, it's not only having a lack of accountability of growing as a Christian. It's saying stay as you are. This is the way you are because of when you were born, and God is not, called us to more. It robs God of his glory because we point to that, because of even the good things. We point to that like, boom, I'm a giving person because of my symbol. No, it has nothing to do with that, y'all. It has absolutely nothing to do with that. And then it's demonic. Like divination, fortune telling, reading, that is, as I told you, Acts 16, verse 16, I'll have the verse at the bottom of the description if you don't believe me. And for those that's listening on the podcast, audio and just the audio, you can look it up. But yeah, like this stuff is not okay. And there's other, things about it's my birthday. Isn't that pagan? Well, if you look up pagan and most pagan practices, I'm not worshiping me on my birthday. That's the flip side of this podcast. I'm not worshiping me. Okay. I'm thankful I'm alive, but I'm not worshiping me. Who gave me life? Jesus. Who gave, and no, let me say this. And if people want to celebrate that, I don't believe that's a sin. Because the Bible speaks about, let others praise you, not your own lips. So if someone else want to celebrate the day you came into their life or came to this earth, and they want to praise that, want to thank God for that, I honestly don't think that's a problem. I mean, I think some people take the Bible too literally and want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Well, it don't have nothing to do with Jesus. Throw it out. Like, what? But again, the principle of let others praise you, not your own lips, that's an apply. Like what do you do at a birthday party? A wholesome birthday party. Let me say that. Like say you want to go bowling for your birthday, and they want to sing happy birthday to you. Okay. I don't think it's sinful. Also, when it comes to, and the Bible never mentions birthday, I can say that the Bible never mentions birthdays. I know I'm not clueless. I'm not clueless to that. But again, if others want to praise you, I think that's okay. Kind of like people have problems with Thanksgiving. I understand the origin and how, what happened to the Indians with the Pilgrims. I know. But again, giving thanks, it's not a sin. Praising others, it's not a sin. I'm just saying. That's just me. So that is my time. I'm not going to stay. I'm not going to drag this out any longer. This is your boy J.Broady. And this has been another episode of Put You On Game. Please like, share, subscribe. That helps this channel. That helps the algorithm. That pushes us up. Be seen by more people. And the message of the gospel goes out further and further. Please, please, please have a blessed, safe holiday.